And we got one from Montoya. So this is a very interesting take, or this could be a very interesting take here. I haven't actually watched the video yet, obviously. Montoya he runs the organization Test in Star Citizen, the biggest organization in the game, I believe. And he's gotten some flack for taking part in his own cryptocurrency, right? Space Bucks. I meme on it. It's our channel points here. I think Montoya in general is a great guy and has no ill intention for Space Bucks, and cryptocurrency apparently is a very cool technology, so on and so forth. All the good things that people say about it are the good things, but there's obviously the bad actors and the possibilities that bad things can happen to people with Space Bucks or whatever, right? But he is making a video about Morphologis. And if you guys have been living under a rock for the last couple of days, Morphologis recently mentioned on Twitter and in his Hull C video that he helped consult on the game Star Atlas, which is basically a Star Citizen clone in terms of its funding model and a little bit of its game and the way its ships look, a clone of Star Citizen, but built on a Web3 kind of pay-to-earn platform. I don't know that much about Star Atlas, but it's a crypto thing, and it has had its problems. I think most of their stuff was in FTX, and they lost a lot of money. And the coin that the game is run off of has lost extreme amounts of value. So people who spent, $30,000 on a ship, their ship is worth like significantly less, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and it looks really, really bad. And Morph consulted on interior design and exterior design on those ships. Just another programming note, we're going to have Morph on the Desync podcast. We're recording tomorrow. I don't know when. I might not even have a stream tomorrow for those things. Or no. Oh, shit. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on here. I'll figure that out, but we're recording tomorrow. But the idea of that is he's going to be able to kind of speak for himself, and I'm going to ask all the questions I can ask. What he can answer, and that'll be that. But super long intro to this. Montoya posted a video titled "Morphologis Did What." Montoya had got in his own little hot water with his own crypto thing, Space Bucks, and yeah, I think it's two guys with good intentions, but the results of their intentions could obviously go awry. So it's an interesting thing. Let's see what happens here.
I have been tagged in the So Much As Past Weekend. I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah,
Morphologis, prolific content creator for Star Citizen, announcing that he was actually doing work for Star Atlas, the crypto project, for the past year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Montoya.
Yeah, and of course he was tagged because of the Space Bucks things, I think. And people also, when I go to find out about Web3 things, it's typically from him.
I run Star Citizen's largest player guild, Test Squadron. This came as a large surprise, a very, very big surprise to me, hearing Morphologis saying he was involved with this project. Now, those of you who've been following my channel for a while know my feelings about Star Atlas. If you're new, let me repeat. Now, first of all, if you are a Star Atlas fan, this is...
Honestly, I've watched all his videos around Star Atlas. I'm not sure I know his opinion around it, to be perfectly honest. I have a very bad memory, and I always forget things, but I always felt like he was thought negatively of crypto, but then he did a crypto thing on his own. So let's see what he has to say.
Not a personal attack on you. I have no problem with crypto or NFTs. I've talked about them a lot in my past. Solana as a chain, I like it. I have an issue with what Star Atlas promised, with what Star Atlas is trying to do.
Okay.
Because I've backed Star Citizen, and because I've sat through 10 years of watching Star Citizen, of watching CIG attempt to create a game, I know how difficult, what long of a process, and how expensive this can be. What Star Atlas is trying to do, I don't want to say it's impossible, but I will say it'll be extremely challenging for them to achieve the goals or for them to achieve the vision that a lot of
What are their goals?
the Star Atlas backers have, or what they envision this game will be. I don't want to say it's not going to happen, but I will say that
I mean, I imagine most people investing in Star Atlas are hoping to make money off of it, and that's really all it is. Do they even care about the game?
buckle up, because it's going to be 5, 7, 10 years before Star Atlas fans get to what Star Atlas has told them this can be. That is my criticism. Now, if you don't know what the story is, this is Star Atlas, basically.
Hey, Nuke.
It's visually beautiful, done in Unreal 5. They've done a wonderful job with it. And the way they fund the project is they sell you these ships. So this is like a little motorcycle there. And what is this, like $20, I think, sold for?
They basically went the Star Citizen model of selling ships and added crypto on it, which just like extends and makes it even worse.
Originally,
Like, the funding model for Star Citizen is bad.
you buy it as an NFT and you get to use it in the game. And because it is crypto, you can buy and sell it on an open market. Gamers in general are very much against RMT in their gaming. As I see you guys playing Second Life, shaking your head saying no. But for the most part, gamers don't want RMT in their games.
I think that's true. A majority of gamers don't want RMT in their games, yet every game has microtransactions and they're giving all their money to the developer, right? Like, where if we were trading with each other, maybe it wouldn't be as bad, but at the same time, I certainly don't want any money involved in my games other than the initial purchase. I mean, that would be great. Single player games are awesome. You buy them, you play them, you have a good experience or a bad one, and you move on, right?
Reason being is that RMT destroys game economies. You've all seen the gold miners in whatever game you're playing, which may have the mechanic
RuneScape.
where people come in and just maximize the output efficiency so they can sell the resources they harvest for real money. It destroys gaming economies. To create a stable and
RMT happens in games without microtransactions. Tarkov is a perfect example. Yeah, and you know what? What's crazy is Tarkov, like, it's kind of hard. Like, they don't make it easy to do it, and it still happens, right? Like, RMT is unavoidable. So what game companies started doing and started thinking of doing is just making their own games pay to win and RMTing themselves, right? Yeah, like RMT was in Ultima Online as well. I sold my account for $1,500 when I was in high school.
functional in-game economy to the scope of which what Star Atlas is trying to do, that alone is going to be difficult. But on top of that, they have the added pressure of their native token Atlas being freely tradable, potential game-breaking bugs which may result in exploits. Who knows? There are a ton of things going against Star Atlas, and I hope they can pull it off. But I'm just very, very skeptical. And you have to take it from me. I mean, right here from their own CEO.
RMT means real money transactions.
They had massive layoffs. Nothing about our vision has changed, which is fine. Their vision for what they want the game to be can remain the same. That is perfectly fine. But it will be incredibly difficult to achieve what they want to do when you come down from 235 employees to a mere 45 employees now. Well, I guess it's 44 since Morph is no longer helping them. That's what it is. So that is my thought on Star Atlas. Again, not a personal attack on you guys with Star Atlas. You know what? I'm not opposed to what they're trying to do. I am skeptical that they can achieve what they are trying to do. So let's go on, now that you know my thoughts, let's go and see what Morph had to say about this. So he wants to...
Okay, so Montoya is not really against crypto, but crypto in games is really hard to do because of potential exploiting, right? We see it in every game. There's exploits, and your game needs to be watertight if you're going to have real money transactions and exploiting and all those things. And no game is watertight.
Get ahead of the curve and clarify some things about his last post regarding Star Atlas. Okay, well, let's go to his last post. Let's start over there, which is this. Morph announcing that he's excited to reveal that he's worked with Star Atlas for a year, consulting on designs for their ships and locations. That is a smart move by Star Atlas. Let me explain why. If you've followed Star Citizen, and look, the Star Citizen ship designs are awesome. Here's Morph talking about the rather phallic-shaped hull C.
Oh no, we have Echo.
And
yeah.
it is
He fixed
beautiful. Now, if you are good at designing spaceships, that is great. But can you design...
They do exterior very well. The interior, not so much, right?
The interior of a room. Can you design the interior layout of something? And you may be strong with the exterior, but you need an actual professional interior designer to give you good interior design. I know it's weird, but just because you can design the outside of a spaceship doesn't mean you can do the inside. I want to actually give you...
I think most people would argue, especially on the older ships, but even on some of the newer ones, lots of wasted space. I mean, this ship I thought was fine until Morph like tore it apart, right? So that's where you kind of get the expertise and be like, whoa, yeah, none of this stuff makes sense.
A wonderful example of this right now, and that is if you're playing Starfield, if you see all the clutter in Starfield on the desks, in the corners, there's things lying around, there's pens, there's pencils. You know who did that? You know who did that? And I know you guys will, some of you will immediately go, aha! This is what a typical Bethesda room looks like. Where is it? No, there. All right. That is what a Bethesda basic room in Fallout 4 looked like. It's just the designers stick a bed in there and not you. Come on. Where is it? That's a bathroom, I guess. Now, there is this wonderful clutter artist, modder on Nexus Mods named Eleonora.
What is he going for here?
And you'll know her for her beautiful mods in Skyrim, for the Breezewood home. And if I'm showing you these pictures here, some of you will recognize this and go, oh, yes, I know this modder. But pay attention to how the desk is laid out. See the globe and a pen.
Okay. Yes, interior design, part of it is furniture, right? And clutter, I guess. But in reality, interior design is very much more about the shape of the room, where the windows are, what they're framing, and more. It's not about like where you place the coffee table. That's interior designers. We're talking about Morphologis being an architect. So the architect would be choosing the materials and the lighting and the things like that. So I'm not sure what point he's trying to make. Habanero Sauce, that's not his point. So says that. So I'll let him cook.
Papers. Does that remind you of something? That's what we have in Starfield. Why? Because she was actually hired by Bethesda. That's her right here. She was hired by Bethesda to be a clutter artist for Starfield.
Oh, cool.
I think this is a beautiful synergy of someone who's passionate about the game getting hired by a gaming company.
I see the point he's making.
To produce something simply amazing, and that is thank Eleonora for the interiors of Starfield because of her work on Skyrim and Fallout 4. So Morph does a wonderful job.
Clutter artist is a thing. It's like Jared's title being director of global video production. It's a made-up title that only works for their games. It's not like a title that is in every game company, right? It just works for them. That's her title at that company.
Detailing ship exteriors and interiors. And I want to say it's a good move by Star Atlas to bring him on as a consultant, I'm guessing, to help with their designs, because this is exactly what pushes the industry forward.
An environment
so
artist.
Great work for Morph. Not only did he get a chance to follow his passion, hopefully this opens more doors for him. But the tricky part was...
And I absolutely had this opinion on it as well. Me and Montoya are in 100% agreement there. Oh, I hit spacebar by accident. Good for Morph. That was probably super fun. But I'm not going to sit here and say good on Morph for working with Star Atlas, right? I will never say that. the game doesn't feel like, it feels like more of a scam than Star Citizen is. It seems like somebody went, oh, look at how much Star Citizen is scamming its backers. Look at how much money they made. We can do crypto with this, which just like adds another fucking hamburger patty to the scam sandwich, right? So it's one of these things that makes it even worse. But with Montoya's point, Star Citizen should have fucking hired Morph, right? And then we would probably have, as a consultant on interior design, on the lighting, on the way the space is used. And then, all the extra little bits could have been something else, right? But the idea of Star Atlas jumping and grabbing him is obviously a good idea. Whether it was him or another architect, it makes sense because game, environment artists aren't architects, right? They aren't trained to know how these things work, and that's why we're getting the interiors that we've had in the game. But there's got to be give and take here as well. Matt Sherman's in chat, used to work at Star Citizen. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but level design was your thing, right? That was what you preferred. I'm trying to remember, bad memory, but I'm pretty sure level design was Matt's thing. And that has to play a factor into it too. So level design and architecture, may not work. They might butt heads at a point, and there's got to be give and take there. Your first gig was a level designer. Okay, so my memory doesn't escape me there too much. So yeah, that's like at some point you have to give and take on both parts. But so like sometimes level design will supersede the way the interior would look, is all I'm saying. But having an interior expert with an architecture background, as far as the way Star Citizenships are, makes complete sense. But Star Atlas,
as proud as he is of his work, this is NFT and crypto related, and his concern was this will generate some flack. So let's take a look at how that worked out. Scrolling down to the comment section, Gabby saying looks amazing. TV Liquid thinks it's cool.
Dude, the amount of this post has been muted that I've had in my mentions lately. Holy shit.
Siggy saying well, hang on. This is all positive stuff. Come on, guys. Where's the bad stuff? The Eradicator. Okay, so you guys remember this story. The Eradicator put out a video being very critical about Star Atlas, and the CEO, Mr. Wagner, did not like the video. He issued a YouTube strike.
Yeah, because everyone's speaking of like, this is really cool for Morphologis, right? Everybody comes to Star Citizen hoping for a game and then realizing it's just like a game development project that everybody's following. And then if you're still following the project, you do feel kind of a part of it. It's the way that they've it's what they've morphed into, is making you feel like you're part of the game development team. And I think people are proud or excited for Morph to actually like work on in game development in some way, because it's sort of morphed into a lot of the Star Citizen fans' dream, is to like work on a project like Star Citizen or work on Star Citizen, right? So like I think he's fanboying. I didn't even realize I said morphed into, but yeah,
against it.
Got him, I guess.
And Eradicator's video was taken down. We all came to support. I know Morph was one of the people very vocal about it too, and pulled it up. So interesting turnaround there. Nice chips, though. I'm not going to follow an NFT project like that. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to. But okay.
Oh, there was one. Hold up. I'm going to try and scroll back a little here to where he was scrolling. It's not going to work. But the it says, "Oh, that's a shame." that was what somebody said.
I'm surprised, but this is overly positive. It's nice.
I mean, you just have to search the word cryptocurrency and you're probably going to find. Thanks for supporting and promoting a scam. Another crypto bro added to the blacklist. There you go.
All right, the feedback is pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know if I was expecting more anger, but it seems to be everyone's very accepting and supportive that he did this. But Morph still wanted to get ahead of the curve, and what he said was this: I want to get ahead of the curve and clarify some things about my post regarding Star Atlas. Important to understood that my announcement of involvement was not an endorsement of the game or NFT, and
that is so hard to agree with. Because you just said that you worked for them, which puts the Morphologis stamp on Star Atlas, and now that is now an endorsement, no matter how you want to look at it. No, you did not make a post saying exclusively, I endorse Star Atlas. But you put your stamp on it and basically said it was fine for me to work there, so some people will probably take that as, is it fine for me to invest in the project?
I agree. This is a difficult situation where he's contracted to do a job, but at the same time, he can't say, please go support this project. It is wonderful.
Because he doesn't believe it's wonderful, right? Because of every other communication he's made up to this point, is the idea of cryptocurrency has not been wonderful. I'm going to just say it. If I was Morphologis, I would have just never mentioned it at all, and that'd be that.
If he could, and if he believed that it would be good, I think he will. But like what I said in the very beginning of this video, they will have their challenges. I'm not yet calling it a scam. I'm not yet calling it a failure. I'm saying it will be extremely challenging.
SaltEMike, most interior architects are designing interiors for the super rich whose money comes from grubby or questionable means. Okay, dude. Cope more. That's so stupid. That is a really stupid comment. And I don't know what else. I'm not going to read the rest of it.
For them to deliver. Now, they can do it if they do get investment dollars, if they do get funded, or if by some miracle the NFT market suddenly booms back and they can sell spaceship NFTs for $1,000. Yeah, it can work, but it will take time.
It's just too blanket of a statement to even put any weight into it.
Fortunately, as I said, and I'll repeat this again because I cannot be any more clear about it, I am highly skeptical about Star Atlas's ability to deliver what they promised in any reasonable time frame, and that is why Morphologis is just being very careful or has wording things saying I'm not endorsing it, but basically I'm just saying I help do stuff with it. Some people will see that though as a conflict of interest, because if you don't believe a project, how will you get involved? But I mean, think about it this way. He's given an opportunity to get his foot in the door. He's meeting with and sitting in meetings with people who might offer him opportunities in the future and will.
Yeah.
So if
it essentially is becoming part of your what is it called, like portfolio in game development, which is something that I don't think had prior to this project. So that enables him to go to a CIG or another company at some point and be like, hey, heard your game has interiors. You know, do you need an architectural design professional?
Morph does get in on game development. This benefits all of us, Spaceship fans, because his designs and the way he sees things helps improve the interiors and makes them livable and lovable for all of us. So this, for Morph, was the right move. He was concerned about the flack, about the pushback on this, but from what I'm seeing, there really wasn't. He went on to say this: he's never covered the ships in Star Atlas because he sees it as a conflict of interest and is too close to insider trading. That is not the. If you do own Morph, if you do own a Star Atlas ship,
thank you, Pappy.
Then you just disclose, I own this ship. As simple as that. It's not insider trading unless you're purposely trying to pump up the price so you can sell, but I don't see him doing that. But he says he doesn't have any NFTs or crypto and never has, which leads me to believe he was paid cash for his contract work, and fair enough. His contract was his capacity as an architect, not as the content creator. And look, I scrolled through the comment section. I got to be honest, I was expecting some people to blow up,
But you got hired because of your content. Yeah, I don't know.
but it seems overwhelmingly positive, and I don't see well, besides Heavy Bob, but
Star Atlas is pure scam. Bro, you literally worked with them. What do you mean you don't support it? There's a lot more negative things than he's reading here. Yeah.
overwhelmingly positive, and people seem very supportive of it. So you don't have to be a fan.
Bro, Tyler was there. Hold on.
But overwhelmingly positive, and people seem very.
So here's Galaxica. Everyone's talking about the insane interest rates on mortgages, but why is nobody talking about the insane rates on car loans right now? It's a depreciating asset. I don't want to live in a walkable city. Wait, what? I found my first gray hair. I thought he was in the comments section. What just happened?
Very supportive of it. So you don't have to be a
Is he just back on his feed now? What
fan
the
of
fuck?
crypto. You don't have to be a supporter of Star Atlas. But what Morph has done is basically get his
Is this some dumb... I don't go on Twitter anymore because this website is so fucking stupid.
foot in the door to get involved in future projects, and maybe one day we see him being more involved in actual Star citizenship designs, which, as I said, benefits us all. So that basically wraps it up. Let me know your thoughts on this issue. Do you see Morph differently now? Because when he says things like this,
the interior falls a bit short of the quality that I've come to expect from CIG.
do you see that some people may see this like, hey, he's saying CIG isn't
Conflict
hiring
of
me, so I'm not
interest.
going to say nice things, or he's kind of nudging for them,
Yeah.
hey, why don't you consult with me?
That's an interesting
I see
point.
it as a win for both Morph and CIG if they do consult with him on that. So I have no problem with that. But let me know your thoughts on the issue.
I think the problem here is that there is a 0% chance that CIG works with Morphologis now after them working with Star Atlas. I feel like that would just be a weird look. And, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's he's conflict of interest here anyway. Or anything. Likely signed a non-compete. Who knows? I mean, again, a lot of speculation by all of us. Again, we're going to record a podcast with him. I'm going to ask all the questions I possibly can and hopefully get some answers to some things that everybody's speculating on, but we'll have to see. So he'll be on the Desync podcast this week, and fingers crossed that that it's all good, right? That we get some answers and everybody is... I guess fingers crossed that it's all good. Fingers crossed that it's all good that he can respond to things is what I'm hoping for. So, yeah, interesting one from Montoya, but I'm in agreement with Montoya. It's awesome for Morph, but there's the morality questions here. Good for Morph. He worked on a video game. We'd all love to work on video games because of our interactions with Star Citizen. But there is... these morality issues that exist. I struggled with that a lot. I worked in a casino. I helped facilitate gambling addicts for 15 years. Right? Am I a bad person? It was just a job. I don't know. It's how I made my living. There's so many ways you can look at these things. So everyone in my chat saying, yes, I'm a bad person, but they all don't believe them. But, so I've gone through that mental morality issue plenty of times where you just see a person losing it all and you can't feel that way. The problem is with casino gamblers is they do a very good job of making you not respect them. Because they treat you with such disrespect that you don't have that feeling of empathy for them. But I think the same thing happens with crypto people that get stuck into these scams and everything as well, right? Is a lot of people don't feel that empathy for the idiots who got scammed on CryptoZoo or something like that, right? Like, look at this idiot, and that's sort of a problem as well. So, but yeah. So I don't know. I I did deal with, because I don't work at the casino anymore, but I did deal with that problem of damn, man, like, am I a bad person? But then it's like, fuck, man, I got to make a living. What the hell? This is how I make my living. It is what it is, and you just go on throughout your day. But in the end, I think it's good for Morph, but it feels like an endorsement to me. I don't know.